Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our dear brothers, and this is the translation of that message that he sent to me. The translation reads like this: Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? So, I was born into a family that had 17 children. My mother, she had 10 children, and my father had another wife, and she had 7 more children. And so growing up, I can say that life was just difficult. Back in those days, once you would have gotten old, then you had to take care of yourself. And being born in such a big family, anything that our father used to get, then you'll just buy some food for the rest of the family. As for our mothers, they were the ones that were responsible to see that we've gotten something to wear, new clothes and everything. So there was no future planning because the family was just too big. So there was one of my brother, the first one, who came to Harare. When he came to Harare, it was in the year 1990. He had been invited by our auntie who had been working in Harare to work as a gardener. He was working as a gardener and also as a tea boy. So he was working for this other white man. So when he started working for that white man, he then found that there was this other man who did not have any relatives. So this man, he was quite old and he was from Malawi. He had came to our country and he had never returned back to Malawi, and this was like a very long time. So then they had their relationship and he regarded my elder brother as if he was his own son. It happened that this man got so sick, and the white men, and you know that they will always do this. Whenever they see that you are old and frail and you can't do anything, then they will dismiss you. And he was not given any pension at all. So after he had been dismissed, he did not know where to go to. My elder brother then took the man in and started staying with him. And after that, he then looked for another accommodation for him. He would regularly go and check up on the old man. And by the time that he passed away, our brother then told us that this man had left some items for him. A bucket. This bucket, it had some melimel, strange melimel that had been mixed with some soil. He said that in their country, in Malawi, when they are communicating with their ancestors, they use melimel to communicate with their ancestors. So the old man had taught my brother everything, and he had said that if you want anything in life, what you have to do is that you just find a place where there is a flowing river. You go there and you just sprinkle some of this melimel into the river and pray, and you will get whatever that you want. So my brother started doing that. He kept on with these prayers, praying to the river goddesses. So his boss then got another person to help him. So he had spoken with his friend and he was now working with his friend. And when he started working with his friend, then the friend wanted to get my brother fired so that he can hire one of his own relative. So my brother then said that he went to the river one day. When he went to the river, he then started praying like what he had been taught by that man from Malawi, and he prayed to the river goddesses and the spirits of the rivers that these men that he was now working with were supposed to die. Then that man passed away. But soon after that man had passed away, our brother said that he started to see this avengeful spirit. This man whom he had killed was now coming back as a ghost. The first time that he saw the spirit of this man that he had killed, he came, he said, like a snake physically. He saw this snake that was walking towards him as if it wanted to attack him. Then the snake, all of a sudden, it just disappeared. From there on, he said that sometimes when he would wake up in the middle of the night, he would find out that the man whom he had killed would be busy in his room cooking, because he had this small paraffin stove. So he would smell the paraffin, and when he would wake up, he would see that there will be a man that will be busy cooking, the spirit of that man. So he then got into contact with another traditional healer who was staying in an area called Old Tafara, and this traditional healer was from Mozambique. So he had came to Zim because he wanted to assist some people, and he had never returned back to Mozambique. So he went to Old Tafara and he started consulting with that traditional healer. That was when my brother got the charm that later became a tokoloshi. And when my brother was given this charm that became a tokoloshi, it was nothing but a lucky charm oil. And he was told that this lucky charm oil, it was going to attract good luck to him. But he was then given another oil. He said that since you are given a lucky charm, it is going to attract every spirit to you. The police will be attracted to you. The thieves will be attracted to you, because a lucky charm oil, it attracts all spirits. And then he was then given another charm. So this charm, it was to protect him from the other spirits that would come to him, and only leave those good spirits, so that the good spirits can give him good luck. So when he was given this charm, there were some rules to it. So these rules that were given to him, they were like this. He was told that for a year he was not supposed to attend the funeral of any of his blood relative. For a year he was not supposed to eat at any funeral, worst of all if it was the funeral of his own blood relative. And he was not supposed to eat cold food. This he was supposed to do for a year. He was not supposed to eat after the sun would have gone down. He was not supposed to go outside after the sun would have gone down. He was not supposed to sleep anyway that was not the place where he was renting. This was what he was told. Then after that, the rules were not going to apply. He was only supposed to do this for only a year. So our brother then told us that he never thought that in that year he was going to lose any of his relatives, because ours was a clean family. No witchcraft, no what. So people will die, but because of old age. But it then happened that my little sister, the last born in our family, she then passed away. She was the daughter of our father's second wife. She was the last born in the family, very young. She was very young. She saw a snake, then she just collapsed. It seems as if the snake that she saw, it was too scary for her, more than what her body could handle. The fear was just too much. She could not handle that fear. She then had an epileptic seizure, and whilst she was having that seizure, she started to chew on her tongue. She chewed so much on her tongue that even I could not even look at her twice because of how she had damaged her tongue. So her tongue then fell into the back of her throat and blocked her from breathing. That is how she passed away. Her tongue was so swollen that it filled the entire mouth. With the way that she had passed away, our father then sent us to this other primary school, which was the only school in the village that had a landline, those old phones. So regularly, whenever we wanted to communicate with our brother, then our father will send us to that primary school. Then the school will call that white man that my brother was working for, and then he will pass on the information to our brother. Then he will call back, giving us the information that was coming from our brother. We told him that our little sister had passed away. He said that he was going to come, but he never came. In that same year, in that same month, that was when our uncle passed away. Our uncle, he was hit by lightning, and after that, that was when our auntie, my father's sister, passed away. So this auntie of ours, she used to make clay pots. So she had gone to get some clay that she wanted to use when making her clay pots. So when she was walking back home, she stumbled and she fell. And she also had that same problem when she fell. She choked up on her tongue, and she was chewing on her tongue until she died. So then people in the family, they said, what is wrong? In the month of July, we have since buried 3 people. So our elder brother, after we kept on calling him, that was when he came back to mourn for our auntie, but we could tell that he was not okay. He was avoiding food. When food would be given to him, he would just pretend as if he was okay. But I followed him. He sneaked out and he went and he bought some food at the grocery store. but it was already too late. He had broken the rules of the covenant. He returned back to Harare, but he then called my father and said that me and my elder brother, we were supposed to join up with him. So we went there. When we went there, we thought that he had found a job for us, but he was in a sorry state. Our brother was so sick. He was so sick, Brother Nashi, that what we will do is that when it will be feeding time, we will take, those African wooden cooking sticks. Then we will force that cooking stick into his mouth so that his mouth can be wide open, because it was like his jaws, they were locked and he could not open his mouth. The food that we were giving him, it will be liquids, no solid food. He then said that, my brothers, my little brothers, oh, I have suffered. Please take me to the place where I got these charms, for I want to return them early. And he said that, please take me to the place where I got these charms. He then went with us to Karoi, because that traditional healer was no longer staying in Old Tavara. He was now staying in Karoi. We went there early in the morning. When we arrived at that traditional healer's house, we were told that we had to be part of that consultation. He was then told that he was not supposed to panic, because very soon he was going to be a rich man. Why panic? The traditional healer said. And he said that, so you want me to take back my lucky charms? And my brother said yes, because he was tired. But that was when the traditional healer said that, but these charms of yours, since you have fed them with blood, I guess that the person that is going to buy this tokology from me is going to be very lucky, because this tokology, it is ready to start making money. I am going to sell it. So when my other elder brother heard that there was money that was involved, money just coming from Norway, my elder brother said, how about you just show us this snake? Because we had been told by that traditional healer that this tokology, it was in form of a snake. Then we saw the snake. The snake, it appeared. It came out of our brother's mouth. That was when we understood that all the people that had died after chewing on their tongue, no, it was the snake that would have entered into their mouth and it would be chewing on their tongue. Then the snake, it vomited money. This was 100 US. It vomited money. This was 100 Zim dollars at that time. This 100 Zim dollar, it was very strong. You could buy whatever that you wanted. So after it had vomited the money, that was when my brother decided that we were not going to allow our elder brother to throw away these lucky charms. And that is how we got involved into his rituals. So now we were like 3 brothers, and our brother was the one who was leading us, and we were following behind him. We were then given 3 cow horns, and we were told that when we would have returned to Harare, we were supposed to place these 3 cow horns underneath the bed, and we all had to put some markers on our horns so that you can know that by this mark, this horn belongs to me. We then returned back to Harare and we placed them underneath the bed, and we were using these horns to stab people in the spirit. Whomever that we wanted to sacrifice, we'll just send the cow horn. After we had gotten these charms, we bought a lot of food, because we thought that since our brother was still sick, we needed to get some piece jobs so that we can take care of him. Then early in the morning the next day, when we wanted to go and find some piece jobs, we found out that our brother, he was already up and he had gone outside taking a bath, and when he came back indoors, he was holding this small plastic bucket, and he said that he had recovered. This man, he was very sick when we had gone to Karoi. He was urinating on himself and he could not even go to the toilet, but here he was jumping up and down like a young man and singing. And he said that, oh my brothers, we are going out shopping. You are not going to go around looking for a job when I have all of this money. He wanted to buy a car. So I said, you want to buy a car? We laughed, me and my other elder brother, and I said, Where are you going to get this money to buy a car? That was when he went on his knees and looked underneath his bed. He pulled out a big metallic trunk. Like, there are those metallic trunks that they use in the army. So he had one like that he had been given by his own boss. So he pulled it out and he opened it up, and we saw that there was money, too much money that was in there. He said that I want to buy a car. We then went out with the money and we went to this other small dealership that was selling used cars, and there was this other Peugeot 404 that was very popular. He bought it in the year 1992. That was when he bought his first car. It only took us a couple of weeks, and we also bought the same model. I had my own car, he had his car, my other brother had his own car, and whenever we will travel back to the village, it will be a convoy of our Peugeot 404s. We were like making money. We stayed like that for about 1.5 years with no one dying in the family. Then I was told that I had to sleep with my sister. It was a painful decision that I had to take for my sister. I loved her with all of my heart. I did not want to hurt her. She was married at that time. So I went to her with a lot of groceries, and I pretended as if I just wanted to check up on her and to see her husband and her children. At that time, I used to love having an afro. So I had this big afro that I had, which was very fashionable at that time. So I had been given those charms. So this is what I did. I had placed the charms inside my afro, hiding the charms in my afro. The moment that my sister saw me, she started to have sexual feelings for me. So after we had eaten, and when she said that she wanted to go to bed, I then slept in the mud kitchen. She came back, I say, somewhere around 1 a.m. She had sneaked out of her bedroom, ran away from her husband. She came. I had deliberately left the door open because I knew that this was what was going to happen. I heard her slowly as she was opening the door and undressing herself, and she came into the blankets and we slept together. My sister then fell pregnant for her own brother. When she fell pregnant, that was when she gave birth to our son, who is still mentally ill. My firstborn, he is still alive. I know where he is right now, but I am using him. I can see him in the spirit. So him being mentally ill, it is what is also giving me money. Then people started dying in the family. Remember that we were 17. So from 1990 to 1994, people were dying within a very short period of time. My father had lost 10 of his children from 1994 to 1996. Then in the year 1999, that was when we sacrificed our mother, because we were told that we had to choose a month. So since our little sister, the first one to die, the one to open up for the spirit of death to take whomever it wanted from our family, she had passed away in July. So that was the month that we chose. So all of the people that have passed away, my father's children, his wives, and my father, they all died in July. My father lost 10 of his children. Then our mother, this is the way that she died. A rock just fell from the heavens and just hit her and crushed her head. But it was that snake that had been given to us. And mind you, at that time, we were also having families. We were all married to multiple women because we just wanted plenty of children so as to sacrifice their blood to this snake. By the year 2005, we had wiped out our entire family. Our father, his 2 wives, and all of his children, 14 of them, we had wiped them all from the face of the earth. So whenever their spirits will come haunting us, then we will say, "Why do you come to us? Before you died, didn't you have children?" Then they will say, "Yes, we had children." Then we'll say, "Then go to your children. Go and possess the bodies of your children." Then they would go and then they'll make their children to suffer. Even right now, their kids, they are still suffering, being tormented by the spirits of these people that we killed. Then in 2009, that was when I lost my brother. I also lost my other brother, the second one, that was in 2013. So I am the last one who is still remaining in the family. I do want to throw these charms away. I do not want this tokoloshi, but you do not know what I am dealing with, what I am fighting against. For these charms, they are very powerful. We strengthened them by feeding this snake with the blood of our relatives. So you can just imagine, after you have fed a stokoloshi with the blood of 17 of your relatives, you can just imagine how powerful it has become. I can even be sitting in church, and I want people to feel sorry for all those people that they see when they are being forced to confess. You do not know what you will be trying to force a person to do. It is not easy to confess. It's like you are being interrogated, but at the same time, your tokoloshi will be standing right next to you and telling you that once you confess, then you know that you need to die, because once you have sacrificed someone, the spirit of that person will find no rest, will be waiting for you. The moment that you die, then you know that your own movie will begin, because I am always having these visions, and my brothers, they even come to me and they say, "Dear brother, we have suffered. We are waiting for you. When are you going to die, old man?" Chased by everyone that we sacrificed. So when you are a ritualist, know that the moment that you die, those that you sacrificed, their spirits will be waiting for you. So there is no peace. And that is what the snake told me. It is far much better not to confess to anyone, because I once went to church, and when I wanted to confess, it came and it wrapped itself around my neck and sometimes around my waist. So the moment that I try to confess, then it will start to tighten itself around my neck, telling me that it is about to kill me. So I want your listeners to feel sorry for all the people that they see. If you see someone being forced to confess, please understand that when you are a ritualist, there is no peace for you when you have died, and your tokoloshi will be the one that will be keeping you alive. So in my case, I have more than 17 people that are waiting for me in the spiritual realm, that are going to torment me forever, asking me, why did I sacrifice them? Why did I sacrifice them? So this is my own confession, Brother Nashi. As for my children, I just pretend as if I understand. I go with them to different traditional healers, but even if the healer tells my children that I am the one who is giving them all of these problems, I refuse, and I act as if I don't understand what is going on. I have 8 children with different women, but they are suffering. My daughters, they cannot get married. And as for my sons, all of them, they do not have any children, because as for this snake, I released this snake on my sons. It goes and sleeps with them, so it sucks them dry. They will be left without any sperm. So when they sleep physically with a woman, like the way that they ejaculate, the sperm that they ejaculate, it will be like watery, and it cannot make a woman to fall pregnant. When I look at my children, I really feel sad for them. They are always accusing me of being the primary cause of all of their problems that they are facing. But I need to come clean with them. I am scared that I will die a lonely death, but this is what I am facing. I am stuck, Brother Nashi. I do not want to confess at the same time, because I am scared that my snake, it will kill me. This is what it told me. So this year I had high hopes that I was going to die. When we entered into the month of July, I waited patiently for my death. But when it was 31 July, then my hopes were gone. But I still set an alarm, and I said maybe I was not going to wake up 12 midnight. That was the time that I set on the alarm. But when the alarm went off, I knew that I was going to suffer again for another year. I woke up and I saw that on my phone it was saying 1 August, which means that I have to wait for next year. Maybe next year when July comes around, then I am going to die. I just want to die, and I am patiently waiting for my death to come. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother right there. That was the translation of the message that he sent to me. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.